Okay, let's have an honest conversation. You have probably heard about Ozempic in the news. Maybe you even know someone who is on it that has lost weight. Maybe it even sounds like the answer to all your weight loss problems. But what they don't tell you about is the loss of strength, the same strength that keeps you balanced and independent. But what if I told you there is an even better way to burn fat for seniors without the loss in strength? Seniors in Japan don't even know what Ozempic is. That's because they don't need it. They use a little-known secret to stay slim and keep their independence. Today I want to spill the beans on that little-known secret so that you can burn fat faster than Ozempic and keep your strength and independence. I am Dr. Suzuki Sato, a weight loss specialist in Japan, and I want to bring you all of our Japanese secrets so you can benefit from them too. Before we jump into the video, tell me in the comments where you are from. I always love hearing from our viewers. If you are over 60, listen up, because this is for you. Here's the truth that almost nobody tells you. The reason weight feels harder to lose after 60 isn't because you're lazy or because your body just can't. It's because the old advice of eat less and move more works against you. That phrase has been repeated so many times, but it's a trap. When you eat less, you often lose muscle first. And when you lose muscle, the body burns fewer calories even when you're resting in a chair. That's why you can work so hard, eat so little, and still see the scale barely move, or worse, go up. Think about it this way. Imagine your body as a little furnace. Muscle is the firewood that keeps the flame alive. The less firewood you have, the weaker the flame burns. Take away too much, and it's no wonder the furnace can't keep up. That's why diets that slash calories don't just fail. They make you weaker, hungrier, and more frustrated. Here's the part that should give you hope. Science has shown that older adults can still burn fat and keep their muscles strong if the body gets the right signals. Not extreme workouts, not starvation, just the right signals. And here's what's fascinating. These signals aren't complicated. In fact, they're usually built into small daily habits. You've probably seen them before without even realizing how powerful they are. I'll give you an example. In Japan, seniors often take short walks before breakfast. Nothing fancy, just a few minutes of moving. Then they sit down to a simple bowl of miso with tofu or fish and greens. Later in the day, they keep dinner lighter and end it earlier in the evening. These aren't diets, these are rhythms. And those rhythms quietly train the body to use fat for fuel without draining strength. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you finished a diet and felt stronger instead of weaker? Most people can't name a single time. That's because traditional dieting was never designed with older adults in mind. It was designed for quick numbers on a scale. And quick numbers don't protect your knees when you stand from a chair. They don't give you steady hands to open a jar. They don't give you balance when you're in the shower. This is the shift you need to hear. After 60, it's not about eating less. It's about eating in a way that protects muscle and calms your blood sugar. When those two things happen, your body finally feels safe enough to burn fat. Safe is the word here. Because when your body doesn't feel safe, it holds on to everything. And that's exactly why so many seniors blame themselves when diets don't work. They think, I just don't have the discipline anymore. But it's not discipline, it's biology, and biology changes as we age. Once you start working with your biology instead of against it, fat loss gets easier, not harder. Here's something worth holding on to. In a long-term study in Tokyo, older adults who kept a steady rhythm of protein at each meal, light daily activity, and earlier dinners had less belly fat and better balance than those who skipped meals or pushed through crash diets. That's not theory. That's real people, and you can do the same no matter where you live. Now, I want to hear from you. Think about your own life. Where do you notice the biggest struggle? Stairs, balance, or hunger at night? Drop a comment about which one speaks to you most. You'll be surprised how many others share that same exact struggle. And when you see it, you'll realize you're not alone in this. Here's the part I really want you to remember. You don't need to fight harder. You just need to change the signals your body gets each day. Muscle is the firewood. Blood sugar is the spark. Put them together and the furnace starts burning hotter again. That's when the fat starts to move and your strength comes back along with it. So, let's move forward by looking at the first building block of this rhythm, how the start of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. This single choice decides if your body spends the next 12 hours storing fat or finally using it. The way you begin your day decides how the rest of it will go. If the first thing your body feels is chaos, blood sugar spiking, hunger roaring, or fatigue hitting, you spend the next 12 hours chasing balance you never really catch. But when the day begins steady, the rest of it feels lighter. That's why mornings matter more than most people think. Picture this. You wake up, pour coffee, and grab something sweet, maybe toast with jam or a quick pastry. It feels harmless, but here's what actually happens. Your blood sugar jumps high, then crashes down, and when it crashes, your brain sends one message: eat again, now. That's why mid-morning hunger feels so strong, even if you had breakfast. It's not that you don't have willpower, it's that your body is stuck on a roller coaster. Here's the good news. That same first meal, if it's built differently, can set you up for calm energy and better fat use all day. Studies on older adults show that when protein is included early, hunger shrinks, balance improves, and the body is less likely to store fat. In Japan, a bowl of miso with tofu or fish and greens is common. In America, it could be Greek yogurt with berries or eggs with a side of vegetables. The exact food doesn't matter as much as the signal you're sending. You are safe. You have what you need. You don't need to store everything as fat. Here's something to think about. If you've ever skipped breakfast and then found yourself overeating later in the day, that wasn't weakness. It was biology doing its job. The body doesn't like to feel unsafe. Skipping meals without a plan creates that feeling. And when the body feels unsafe, it holds on tighter. Now, I want you to reflect on your mornings. What do you usually reach for first? Coffee alone? A sweet snack? Or maybe you don't eat until lunch? Drop it in the comments. You'll see a lot of others in the same boat and it might spark an idea for you. Here's where it gets even more powerful. It's not only what you eat, but also how you move. A short walk, even 10 minutes, before or after that first protein-rich meal changes the signals your body receives. Movement helps your body use more fat for energy, especially in the morning when insulin is lower. You don't need a gym. You don't need weights. Just the rhythm of your own steps, or if walking isn't safe, light arm movements from a chair. It all counts. Now lean in here, because this is one of the most important truths you'll hear today. The body is like a thermostat. If it starts hot in the morning with spikes and crashes, it stays uneven all day. But if it starts steady, protein, light movement, calm blood sugar, it stays steady. And steady is the foundation for fat loss. Without it, nothing else works for long. In a long-running study, seniors who ate balanced breakfasts and added light movement had less belly fat, stronger legs, and better glucose control compared to those who skipped meals or started with sugar. This wasn't about discipline, it was about rhythm. And rhythm doesn't care if you're 61 or 91. I want you to picture tomorrow morning. You wake up, pour that same cup of coffee, but instead of a pastry, you add a protein source. Maybe it's eggs, maybe yogurt, maybe miso. Then you move for 10 minutes. How different would the rest of your day feel? Less snacking, more steady energy, and a furnace that actually burns fat instead of saving it. That's what this small change can create. Here's a little reminder worth repeating. Muscle is firewood, protein is the spark, and movement is the flame. Put them together in the morning, and your body remembers how to burn fuel the right way. So now that the foundation is clear, let's talk about the habits that actually multiply fat burning all day. This is where the real breakthroughs happen, and you're going to want to hear this twice, because one of them is the hinge that makes all the others work. Now that the foundation is set, this is where the breakthroughs happen. There are 3 habits that make the biggest difference for burning fat after 60. Each one is simple, but when you put them together, they change everything. And the second habit, the one we'll get to in just a moment, is the hinge that makes all the others work. Let's start with the first habit. It's short, it's easy, and you can do it tomorrow morning. A 10-minute walk before or after your first meal. Nothing fast, nothing fancy, just moving. What makes it powerful is timing. In the morning, your body is more willing to use fat for energy. A short walk nudges it in that direction. Many older adults who add this into their mornings notice appetite calming down through the day. It's not exercise for weight loss, it's a signal to your body that says, burn fuel steadily. And if walking isn't safe or easy, you can do the same from a chair with simple arm movements, or by standing near a counter and shifting your weight back and forth. What matters most is the rhythm, not the intensity. Imagine how different your day would feel if you knew your body started off using fat instead of storing it. Here's the second habit, and this one deserves your full attention. Protein at every meal, not just dinner. Most people eat little or no protein at breakfast and lunch, then load it all at night. But the body, especially after 60, needs clear signals throughout the day to protect muscle. And muscle is what keeps the furnace burning. When you spread protein evenly, around 25 to 30 grams per meal for most healthy adults, you keep that fire alive. Protect the fire, and fat loss gets easier. This is the habit worth repeating in your mind because it multiplies the effect of the others. Without enough protein at the right times, every diet feels like a struggle. But once you get it right, hunger shrinks, balance improves, and strength returns. In Japan, a bowl of tofu or fish with rice and greens is common. In America, it could be cottage cheese, yogurt, beans, eggs, or chicken. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be steady. Now here's the third habit. Tea timing. Green tea or oolong at breakfast or midday, not late at night. The compounds in tea give a gentle lift to metabolism and calm appetite for many people. In long-term studies, older adults who drank tea regularly had less belly fat and better glucose control. The key is timing. Too late in the day, and caffeine can disturb sleep. But earlier, it sets the stage for calmer evenings. And when evenings are calm, you avoid the nighttime snacking that undoes so much progress. Pause for a moment and think about these three habits. 10 minutes of movement, protein at every meal, and tea at the right time. Which of these feels most doable for you right now? Share it in the comments. You'll notice that many others are choosing the same, and that's where you'll find encouragement to keep going. Here's why all of this matters. When you combine movement, protein distribution, and tea timing, your body gets the clearest signals possible. Protect muscle, burn fat, stay steady. It doesn't feel like a fight anymore. It feels natural. And when something feels natural, you're far more likely to stick with it. Now, lean in because this is where we connect the dots. These habits aren't about discipline. They're about creating the right environment so your body finally lets go of the fat it's been holding onto for years. And in just a moment, we'll fine-tune these ideas even more. That's where the exceptions come in, the little adjustments that make sure everyone, no matter their health situation, can use these habits safely. You now know the three habits that can transform the way your body burns fat. But here's where a lot of people go wrong. They try to copy them without considering their own unique situation, and when that happens, they either quit or get discouraged. The truth is, not everyone's body responds the same way. What works beautifully for one person might need a small tweak for another. Let's start with evenings. Many people don't realize how much late-night eating steals from their progress. When you eat close to bedtime, your body spends the night digesting instead of repairing. That leads to lighter sleep, stronger cravings the next day, and more belly fat over time. Shifting dinner even 30 minutes earlier makes a bigger difference than most realize. Seniors in Japan often finish dinner by 7 p.m. or earlier, and it shows in their steady energy and slimmer waists. Try making your last meal lighter and sooner, and you may notice your sleep deepening within days. Now think about sleep itself. Poor sleep changes hunger hormones. You wake up hungrier, snack more during the day, and feel less satisfied after meals. The result? your body clings to fat even harder. Protecting sleep is one of the simplest diet tools you'll ever use. A short dusk walk or a few minutes of slow breathing can calm your system and prepare your body for rest. Better sleep means steadier hunger, steadier mood, and a body more willing to let go of fat. Here's another fine tune that surprises people. It's called a strength snack. And no, it's not food. It's a 5-minute burst of gentle muscle work, like sitting and standing from a chair or pressing your palms against a countertop. Done a few times during the day, it signals your body to hold onto muscle, which is the very thing that keeps your metabolism alive. Even if you use a walker or a cane, simple seated movements can deliver that signal. And the best part? These micro movements add up. Now let's talk about exceptions. If you're taking medicines like insulin, sulfonylureas, or GLP-1 injections, morning routines may need adjustment. A walk before eating could push blood sugar lower than expected. In that case, swap the walk for after your first protein. If you're on blood pressure medicine that makes you lightheaded, start with hydration and slower rises out of bed. If you have kidney disease, protein goals are different. Follow what your healthcare team recommends. The goal is never to push past safety. It's to work with your body, not against it. Cultural foods also matter. If rice or bread is part of your daily rhythm, don't rip it away. Pair it with protein and vegetables instead. That way you keep tradition while protecting your body. In Japan, rice is often eaten with fish or tofu. In America, whole grain toast with eggs or cottage cheese works the same way. It's not about perfection, it's about balance. Think about your own routine for a moment. What's the one time of day that feels most challenging? Morning hunger, late night snacking, or energy crashing in the afternoon? Share it in the comments. Someone else is going through the same thing, and your answer might give them the idea they've been looking for. Here's the line worth remembering. Small adjustments keep the habits safe, realistic, and lasting. Without them, you risk burnout. With them, you get progress that feels natural. Let me tell you about a widower in his 70s. He struggled with heavy snacking at night and restless sleep. Instead of forcing a diet, he simply moved his dinner earlier, took a short dusk walk, and replaced late-night snacks with warm broth. Within 10 days, his belt fit differently and his mornings felt lighter. The scale caught up later, but his energy came first. That's how these changes work. They ripple into every part of life. Don't drift here. The next step pulls all of this into one clear rhythm you can follow tomorrow. That rhythm is the bridge between knowing and living. And once you step onto it, everything starts to click. You've seen how small adjustments, protein, movement, tea timing, earlier evenings, better sleep, add up. But the question now is, how do you actually use all of this without feeling overwhelmed? The answer is rhythm, not rules, not restrictions, just a rhythm you can follow today that works with your body, not against it. Imagine your day as a smooth line, not a roller coaster. In the morning, you wake, hydrate, and send your body the first clear signal. Maybe it's a short walk before breakfast. Maybe it's adding protein to your first meal. That one choice sets the furnace inside your body on steady burn mode. When that happens, the rest of the day gets easier, not harder. Midday, you protect that rhythm with another meal that includes protein. Add in a gentle strength snack, a few chair stands or arm presses against the counter. It doesn't look like exercise in the old sense of the word, but it sends your body the message it craves. Keep the muscle, keep the fire alive. Pair that with a cup of tea or broth, and you'll notice hunger calming down without effort. Evening is where most people lose ground, but now you'll know better. A lighter dinner, eaten earlier, helps your body rest instead of store. And when your body rests, it rewards you with deeper sleep. Better sleep means steadier hunger the next day. This cycle repeats. Calm mornings, stronger afternoons, lighter evenings. Each day builds on the one before. That's how rhythm compounds into real change. Now, lean in here. because this is one of the most important ideas of all. You don't need to be perfect. The body doesn't demand perfection. It rewards consistency. Even if you do just one of these steps tomorrow, one short walk, one protein-rich meal, one earlier dinner, you'll feel the shift. And once you feel it, you'll want to keep it going. Here's something you might want to hear twice. Small steps, done daily, are what rebuild strength, melt stubborn fat, and give back independence. Big leaps may look exciting, but they rarely last. Small steps compound. That's how people over 60 in Japan maintain strength well into their 80s and 90s. That's how you can too. Think about your own life. Which one step feels most realistic to start with tomorrow morning? A walk, eggs or yogurt instead of toast alone, a lighter dinner? Share it in the comments. Saying it out loud makes it more likely you'll follow through. And your comment might be the encouragement someone else needs. Let's pull this together into a simple picture. Your body is like a steady flame. Muscle is the wood. Protein is the spark. Movement is the air that keeps it alive. And sleep is the calm night that allows it to grow stronger. Each day you add fuel in this way, the flame burns brighter. The brighter it burns, the easier it is to let go of the weight that's been holding you back. Picture yourself a few weeks from now. You rise from a chair without struggling. You carry groceries without stopping to rest. You sleep through the night without waking hungry. The scale may move slower than you expect, but your energy will change first. And when energy changes, everything else follows. So let me ask you this. What will be your first small step? Write it below. Whether it's a morning walk, a protein breakfast, or an earlier dinner, your choice could be the very thing that keeps another person moving forward. The journey isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about starting one small rhythm today and letting it grow into a life that feels lighter, stronger, and more in control. We've come full circle. You started this video wondering if fat loss after 60 was even possible without punishing diets or expensive drugs. And now you've seen the truth. Your body responds to rhythm. Morning signals, steady protein, light movement, tea timing, calmer evenings, and better sleep. These aren't gimmicks. They're small steps that change the way your body burns fuel, protects strength, and keeps you independent. Let's pause on something important. You don't have to master everything at once. In fact, trying to do it all at once is the fastest way to give up. The secret is picking just one step and repeating it until it feels natural. Once it does, the next step slides right in. That's how rhythm is built. That's how change sticks. Here's a line worth repeating. Fast changes are fragile. Steady changes are strong. Think about that as you choose your first action. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, what will you do differently? A short walk before coffee? Adding protein to breakfast? Shifting dinner earlier? Decide now, and you'll feel lighter sooner than you think. I'd love to know. What is the single step you're choosing first? Drop it in the comments. Your answer might be the spark someone else needs to get started. And if you found value here, subscribing is the easiest way to keep receiving practical, science-backed tools every week. Don't let this just be another video you watch and forget. Let it be the turning point where you chose rhythm over restriction, strength over weakness, and lasting energy over quick fixes. Remember this as you move forward. Fast is fragile, but rhythm is strong. And when rhythm is strong, so are you.